What's up, YouTube? I am Sean Arona, and welcome back to Stuck in Love Films, where we are creative 100% of the time. Today we are going to be talking about a very important subject, sound. Specifically, how to get good sound at a wedding. Let's get into it. So, a wedding day is important, and one of the most important parts of filmmaking is sound. You want to get it right, and you want to know how to get it right, especially because you only have one shot. So an essential part of editing a wedding film is the moments, the speeches, the vows that the bride and groom say to each other during the ceremony. These are the things that you really want to get right when it comes to the audio. This is the Zoom H1. It's pretty cheap. I think I got it for like $100 back in the day. It takes a micro SD card and it has the record button right here. You can change it from WAV to MP3, and you even got a low cut filter on here. This thing takes one AA battery, and honestly it lasts forever. Normally what I do is I pair it with a little lavalier mic. You want to make sure though that you check the side of it. There's a line in slot, and there's also a headphone jack. Please don't accidentally put the microphone into the headphone jack because you're not going to record anything. This is a great pair for putting on the groom during the ceremony. It's a lot easier to put a mic on the groom than it is on the bride because there's nowhere to put the recorder. So I have these Rycote stickies for pinning the lapels on the groom. You just peel one off. You stick it to the tip of the lavalier mic, peel this part off like so, and you just put it on. Well, actually what I do is I put it on the inside of their jacket, and sometimes grooms like to hide it, so sometimes I pin it like underneath their jacket. Sometimes they're okay with having it out, so you just put it on top. Basically, you just want to make sure that the mic is facing their mouth. That's the most important thing. And that this is recording. This part will just slip into the inside of their jacket pocket, or they can stick it in their pants pocket, depending on what they want. A lot of you have probably used the Zoom H4n. This thing's battery life lasts way longer than that one, and also, you know how that H4n only records after you hit the record button twice? This one will record as soon as you hit the record button. So the other thing I like to use is the Tascam DR40. This thing I actually prefer to the Zoom H4n. It can do a lot of things. For example, it has this one switch where you can change the sound signal from a line to a mic plus phantom power. That's very important to me because a lot of the time you're going to be plugging into these big boards with these DJs, and the boards send you a line signal, and you want to be able to adapt to that. This also does that thing where if you hit the record button, that's when it starts giving you the sound levels, and then if you hit the record button again, that's when you're actually recording. So make sure you're recording when you plug it in. You can also set this thing to record two different sound levels. I have one recording the main level, and then I have another layer that's recording the same sound but with a negative 12 dB difference, so that way if something blows out, somebody screams or yells or just gets louder, I'll have the safety sound recorded for later. So when you're recording the speeches with the Tascam, you want to make sure that you're prepared with your own cables. One of the things I bring with me are these little XLR adapters. This one is a male to stereo male. Another cool thing about the Tascam is the bottom, the inputs can take in XLRs, and it can also take in stereo. Isn't that awesome? Alright, so for cables, make sure you have the male and the female version. The female version usually comes out of the board, so you'll plug this right into the back of the soundboard if they have an XLR out, and you'll plug this end into the Tascam. Another thing that DJs mention when I'm asking to plug into their soundboard is if I have RCA cables. So it'll be an RCA to 3.5 millimeter jack. The Tascam does not have a port that will actually fit the 3.5 millimeter jack, so what I have to bring is an adapter. So you just put the stereo adapter on there, plug that 1/4 inch in, and now you have RCA to the recorder. Another thing to be prepared with when you're plugging cords into this device is you want to make sure you have an extra maybe 6 to 10 foot XLR cable, because even though you have those adapters, they might not have a place for you to put it. Sometimes they have a table, and sometimes you can put it on their board. Other times you're plugging right into a speaker and you need a long cord. So make sure you have a long XLR cable so that way this isn't just dangling somewhere in space. So a lot of us get really caught up with our cameras and our lenses, and we're focusing on getting the perfect shot and all that. But you want to make sure while you're capturing those moments that just in case someone says something sweet or there's laughing and you want to include it later, that you have the option, but that it also doesn't sound horrible. This is the Rode Mic Pro. I'll include a link in the description to the specific version of this. All you have to do is put this right on the hot shoe mount and plug the other end right into the mic jack, and there you go. Oh, also, make sure it's on. That's important. It has a few features on the end of it where you can control the levels a little bit. Normally you'll keep it at 0, but if you're in a spot and things are really quiet or someone's really far away and you're trying to get something, there's actually a switch that you can put that'll add 20 dB. Also, if you're at the reception, they will be blasting music. Everything's going to be loud. All of your audio will be blown out from this device. If you put it on 10, it'll take away -10 dB to all your sound. So if you click this button to the right, it also has this feature where if there's like a hum in the room, like the refrigerator's on or the AC's going, that this will take the hum right out. Another thing that's very handy is having a wireless lavalier system for these live events. I personally have the Rode Link wireless lavalier system. We've got the transmitter right here and the receiver right here. All you got to do is take your little lavalier microphone, plug it into the transmitter, and just stick this on whoever you need. A lot of the time I just stick this on the pastor, have it clipped to their belt, and then I can get the entire wedding ceremony. The receiver, again, just goes right on the hot shoe mount. Lock that in place. Take this end and put it right in the microphone. Put it right in the Put it right in the microphone jack of the camera. So now you've got audio coming right to the camera. You just stick some headphones in and you can listen to the vows. You can listen to the sermon, all the ceremony right here in your camera. So the other thing I want to talk about is you have to make sure that these two devices are on the same channel. Always make sure to turn on the receiver first. If you turn on the transmitter too early and you go back to the receiver, sometimes the transmitter turns itself off. There is an indicator on the end of the receiver that'll tell you, 1, the battery life of each device, and 2, that they're connected. You'll see right here, receiver's on top and the transmitter's on the bottom. If you don't see the transmitter, that means it's either not on or connected. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video and got something out of it. I will include links to everything you saw in this video in the description below. Sound is really important, so make sure that even if you don't have these devices specifically, that you're using things to get good audio. If you guys like this video, please hit that like button, subscribe if you aren't already. Remember, it's not about the gear, it's about you and what you do with it. I'll see you guys next time.